My name is Doug, and you are on the Flat Earth Workshop. Today, expect extra special fun because we're talking about German tanks. The legend began in 1934 with the Panzer I, the Panzer II, then the upgraded Panzer III medium tank, the Tiger I, the Panther, which was a T-34 killer, the super heavy Tiger II, and in 1965, the Leopard I. The Leopard 2 was introduced in '79 with the NATO standard Rheinmetall 120mm cannon, which is also used by Abrams tanks, the V12 twin-turbo diesel, which turns out 1,500 horsepower. The torsion bar suspension is still in use all the way back from the 30s, and it still works terrifically today. There's a crew of 4 in this huge tank, which is 62 tons. Let's sit back and go inside the hatches of the Leopard 2. We have another cool 135 build today from Revell, a very inexpensive kit, but actually you can see it can be built into something fantastic with our guest builder Landon Ritterling. So Landon, what do you have for us today?
So this is the Leopard 2A4, widely considered one of the best tanks in the world. Designed by the Germans, it was really kind of the first Euro tank. With the combination of multiple different technologies from different countries that created this thing. And it's been frequently upgraded. So you have the Leopard 2A5, and then I think they're designing the Leopard Revolution, which are the super modern tanks that you see nowadays.
So is the Leopard sold elsewhere in the world?
They are. So oftentimes what you'll see with tanks in general in the modern days, you'll have, the original tank, and then you'll have export variants, which oftentimes are a little dumbed down because usually nations want to protect their technologies and they don't want stuff to be reverse engineered. They are sold all over the place. I'm pretty sure Turkey has some, and other, kind of Middle Eastern countries might take some of these tanks as well.
So how does the Leopard stand up to competitors like the Abrams and the Merkava?
It's hard to say. I mean, all of that is based on the environment that they're fighting in. When you have combined arms, tanks aren't the only weapon you have, and they're all very good tanks, don't get me wrong. This is considered the best by a lot of different countries, but the other ones are not too bad. It just depends on the environment, how many of them are there, what kind of support they have. The modern environment when it comes to warfare there's a lot of variables in play. It's a good tank though, and many would say that it could really hold its own in the fight. So let's talk about the thing that really brings the business to the table, which is the cannon itself. This is the Rheinmetall 120mm cannon, pretty much seen in every modern tank that you see on the NATO sphere. It's a very powerful cannon that can really cause a lot of damage to any enemies that it's going up against. There's an Americanized version that's used in the Abrams tank. There's also a 120mm cannon that you see in the Challenger 2 tanks as well. You really see a lot of these technologies coming into play with these various nations because they share technology and try to make the best thing possible with what they have. Here you see the MG3, which is the modernized MG42. It's amazing how you see these old weapons still being in use. This is a very small tank, and this model is probably 4 inches long. It's 172. When you see some of these up-close images, you're looking at an inch of space here. The wheels are very tiny. But the same sort of effects have been used from all the other models that you've probably seen on our channel. Lots of mud effects throw in at the bottom of the tank to kind of make it look like it's a little dirty. Been going through mud and been experiencing some stuff. In summary, this was a Revell kit, 172 scale. These things are really affordable. You can pick them up for about 10 bucks. They're pretty fun to test out new things with your modeling skills. So with this tank, I wanted to foray into the world of camouflage. And with this particular model, I wanted to do it by hand, which is not something I recommend to new modelers. I'm testing out new things. So I used the Tamiya acrylic line for a lot of the modeling you see going on. Sprayed the base color of green and then went in with the NATO camouflage colors. Oftentimes what you want to do is get a photo reference and use that to aid you with trying to create as close as possible to what you see in the photos and just make the best camouflage you can.
Well, Landon, another great model and another great show. Thanks so much.
Oh, thank you.